Well, good morning. It's Coach Carol coming to you to chat about transformation and how I restored my marriage. So, I am a certified marriage coach and love empowering women to be their best self. And 26 years, I tried the same things. I tried to do what I thought was the uh, way to be a wife, I guess, right? Trying to make my husband maybe do things my way or to share, if there was a problem, there was something going on, like, if we didn't have enough money to pay a bill or something, right? That I wanted him to take an action. I wanted him to resolve the issue. I wanted him to hear me and all that. Really, I think I wanted him to change his work situation, and I wanted him to father the way that I thought he should, right? Um, I had no idea that every time I said what I wanted, how that landed as criticism, really, which provoked defensiveness. And it usually ended up in an argument. So I wasn't aware of how my tone, even the rolling of my eyes, like all of that. I had no idea about my body communication, what it was doing, and how that was showing up as disrespectful of him as a man, right? A unique man with his own ideas of how he thought things should get done and what he needed to do in his life, right? I thought I was the expert in all of our lives as the mother. And anyways, well, to restore my marriage, I had to become super humble and begin to take full responsibility for me, my actions, my thinking. And I really had to humbly admit that my fears were driving me. My fears were causing me to try to control him and to control things in our lives and to control the situations. And, it was like standing on the edge of a cliff when I learned the 6 intimacy skills and decided that I needed to own my own stuff and really completely shift how I was living and to let go of all that fear and just trust him, trust God, trust trust that everything was going to work out the way that it was supposed to work out. And yeah, I'd heard that many times in life, but I hadn't fully embraced it. And yeah, it was hard. It was really hard. Changing the way I showed up as a wife and a mom was terrorizing. And yet, probably the greatest accomplishment in my life, because really becoming empowered to be my best self was huge. It was huge. It went against everything that the people around me were telling me. People, basically felt that divorce was the only answer, that I had tried long and hard enough and things weren't getting any better and that I deserved better. And that's natural because that's what society says. If it's not working, get out. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's another answer, that most of us go through life doing marriage only with part of the instruction manual, that we're missing major pieces of the puzzle. And now that I have them, I love empowering myself and other women to be so much more successful in their marriages. And as I began, working on my own thinking, my own beliefs, trusting more, turning to God with my challenges and my fears in prayer, and leaning on Him more, rather than being swallowed up in fear and anxiety and worry. God tells us not to worry, and yet I worried a lot. I mean, I still do at times, but I try to stop myself now and pivot to believing that things are going to get better, and to own that intentionally, to pivot away from those fears and intentionally saying, okay, I recognize the fear and I'm not going there today. I'm going to choose my faith, and I'm going to choose to get up and do the next loving thing that I need to do and take care of myself and be my best self, right? So self-care was huge. Learning about being more intentional and that I do have control over my thinking and how I show up, and if I let my emotions run ragged or not, or if I take control of those. And learning to realize that as a mom, I really um, naturally stepped into taking care of everyone around me. And I still do that in my work and whatnot. My natural tendency is to want to take care of everyone else and to sacrifice myself. I've come to learn that that's called a martyr syndrome, when in fact, really, we do need to take care of ourselves first as moms. We do need to have ourselves on the list, because when we take care of ourselves, then we can be a better wife and a better mother all the way around. And that was a huge learning for me. I resisted that so much. It was so hard. It felt so selfish. But really, it's not. It's not. Um, it's not. So while it really was hard at the beginning to move myself up on that priority list, it did feel incredibly, selfish, but it is just so essential. I want to just drive that home with you. So my husband can't make me happy. Other people around me cannot make me happy. In the end, it's my responsibility. It's your responsibility, right? To make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and finding our happiness. And if you don't know what makes you happy, because I'll tell you that I didn't anymore, I really was taking care of the kids and everybody else, make a list and start noticing those times when you're feeling happy and jot them down in a notebook, whether it's, listening to particular music, or, maybe sipping your favorite hot drink, or reading a book, or being with friends. When is it that you're feeling happy? Start noticing that and jotting it down, and then bring more of that into your life. Just keep bringing that in, right? And then slowly your joy starts coming back. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So I did make all of those mistakes, a lot of mistakes, and yet it was being open to transforming me that saved our marriage, saved my family. I'm a work in progress, as this truly is a journey to become my best self. And, I heard there was a sermon this past Sunday, and it talked about some of the people in the Bible, and for instance, St. Paul, right, that he called himself the least of the apostles because he had persecuted Christians and the church, and yet he was transformed through the grace of God. But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace to me has not been ineffective. He was transformed to become his best self, and to then go on to be St. Paul, the great St. Paul. Even St. Peter, right? After filling their nets, right, all night long, he'd been fishing, they caught nothing, and Jesus said, put your nets back in, and he didn't want to, but he did. He obeyed, and he filled those nets to everlasting, not everlasting, but to abundance fish. And, what did he say? Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man. That he was humbled, and he admitted his sinfulness, and that he was transformed and became great St. Peter, that he left everything. They all did, to follow Jesus and to be their best self. And, it's natural, I think, in this world that we try to do things ourselves. I'm so guilty of that. It's like, I guess God knocks me to my knees too in my separation from my husband, to realize that I couldn't do this alone. And it was the grace of God that transformed me, that broke through my heart to help me see that I needed to love more deeply and be ever more patient, more kind, more understanding, more compassionate, and to be more respectful of my husband as a man. And I couldn't have done that without working on myself first and learning how to love myself more. So, everyone around me, and including multiple marriage counselors, all said that divorce was the only answer. And it wasn't. God showed me that. God hates divorce. And I feel like these skills are something that I want to empower women, especially Christian women, to be able to save their marriages too, because we're missing the pieces. We're missing these pieces. Anyways, it was when I was at wit's end, really, that things escalated, and when we were so out of control. But that's when God can work in us the most, is when we're broken. So God does have other plans for divorce. He does want to save marriages. He does want to save families. And I just invite you to be open to that transformation and to know that there is great, great hope for your marriage. There really, really is. So if this touched you in any way, please, I would love for you to share this video to help me get the message out there that we can save marriages. And subscribe to the page right below. Just subscribe to the page, and I'll be posting more videos, and would love your comments and topics that you'd like to hear about. So subscribe, comment. If you would comment, that would be awesome as well, as I try to build this channel in order to, like I said, reach out to more and more people. So subscribing and commenting and sharing are truly a gift to me and to this message, to this mission to end world wars. All right, so have a great day, and would love to hear how you're transforming yourself, how you're going to make a difference in your family by transforming you. So have a great day.